Yeah. So we've not done anything like this on LinkedIn before. So Dave and I have just been having a chat around leakage, but more specifically the recent announcements about how the water industries are now looking at hosepipe bans, reservoirs are being depleted, and therefore there's quite a lot of focus around how we're using the water. Obviously, during this COVID situation, we are staying at home a lot more. We are using more water. We've all bought hot tubs if you've been able to get one. Paddling pools, and we're washing our hands, 6, 7, 10 times a day. So it's a topic that Dave's very familiar with from his previous role. So Dave's our technical director from Control Point. Dave, you know quite a bit about this. Do you want to give us a bit of history about the leakage in the UK?
Yeah. When the industry privatised in the early 1990s, we went into asset management programs, which was a 5-year business plan by each water company submitted to the regulator Ofwat. That plan was how to improve the infrastructure and reduce leakage. It was at that point that leakage really began to be recorded on an accurate level. In 1995, it was recorded that the UK water industry was losing 9 billion litres of water per day through its existing infrastructure.
9 billion, did you say?
9 billion litres per day.
Okay.
The water companies then made significant efforts. They improved quality, they improved infrastructure, and managed to bring that figure down to 3 billion litres per day as we stand today.
Right, okay.
However, it should be noted that that 3 billion litres per day has been consistent for the past 5 to 6 years. We seem to, as an industry, have plateaued with our leakage.
Yeah, and we've obviously seen it in the recent, as we've entered a new AMP cycle, so the regulatory period for the water companies. We're in AMP 7 now. We've seen that there is a significant focus around leakage as well. But you sent me some slides earlier, which hopefully it will allow me to share on here. So let me see if I can bring them up for people to see. So hopefully everybody can see that. And there we've got some information around the leakage. And do you want to talk a bit through that, Dave?
Yeah, I mean, it's important to note that whilst we're losing 3 billion litres per day, and we are considered quite a wet country from a rain perspective, I mean, in the north of England as well, it's historically a joke within the UK about how wet things can be. However, the 3 billion litres equates to 1,273 Olympic-sized swimming pools per day leaking. Now, as the environment begins to affect the country, this leakage becomes even more important because we are now beginning to provide real stress areas within the UK. Do you have a map that we can demonstrate that on, please, Wes?
Yeah, hold on.
So as you can see here, this is actually from the Environmental Agency, and you can see it's quite clear on there. If you look at the areas of low, medium and high stress within the UK. And as you can see, certainly the southeast of England there, from Anglian Water, covering Thames Water, very other southern eastern water companies, you can see that the stress levels are significantly high and considered serious. So the industry now has to start transporting water around the country to make sure that these areas do not run out of water. It's unthinkable in the UK that we can have large, dense, populated areas of the country which potentially may have their water mains run dry. People think that could never happen in the UK. Well, the Environmental Agency have predicted that these areas you see on the map, if nothing is done, if we can't control leakage, if we can't put in new quality infrastructure, that these particular areas may start to run dry in 2025.
Wow, okay. And there was another little slide you sent to me in terms of the increase in temperature. Obviously, everyone's been enjoying the recent good weather, but we are seeing much more longer and elongated dry spells, aren't we? Which does mean that, again, it's under more pressure.
Whether you believe in climate change or not, the facts are the facts. And again, this is a study done over decades by the Environmental Agency. And you can see that in a typical British summer from 1961 to 1990, the average dry spell at any one time was between 5 to 10 days. We'd then have some rain, which would replenish the water stocks, and then we'd have another dry spell. However, if you look there now from 2008 to 2017, those particular dry spells have doubled and in certain areas tripled. So instead of the 5 to 10 day dry spells, we're now experiencing 10 to 20 or 20 to 30 days continuous without any rain. Together with the leakage, that is really ramping up the pressure on our water system, including obviously the increase in population.
And obviously, it's passionate. Something that we're passionate about at Control Point is the elimination of leaks from water pipes. Without going into a big long sales pitch, which I'm sure people can contact us for if they want to know a bit more how we could help their network. What are the top few tips that you can give us about eliminating leakage on a water network?
The industry currently spends billions per year on leak detection and leak repair. And that's absolutely fine. We have an aging pipe infrastructure within the UK. You've got cast iron pipes, Victorian aged pipes, which will continue to leak and are continuously being replaced. However, it's the replacement of those pipes which is absolutely critical. If we're putting new infrastructure pipe in, it's unforgivable if that pipe then leaks. We have to be sure that we have a leak-free new pipe system.
And we've got good examples of that where for Thames Water under the SMB or the 820 partnership, they've managed to put in, it's a leak-free network, isn't it, over the last 3 years, Dave?
It is 3 years plus as we stand now, Wes. And as I say, of the thousands of meters and kilometers of polyethylene pipe installed, they have had 0 recorded failures where they've had quality monitoring.
Okay, cool. Well, we tried to keep this under 5 minutes. As I say, it was the first time that we've done anything like this. Hopefully it's an easy way of getting a message out onto the platform. If you want to have any more information around leakage and how we can eliminate it on your network, be sure to drop Dave or I a message, and hopefully we'll do a few more of these to share a bit of knowledge. Hopefully you found it engaging. If you did, please put a comment or like. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much.